สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening everybody from Khon City, Thailand. Welcome all of you to the APEC KKU 2022 online workshop for Lesson Study 2.0 focus on artificial intelligence and data science for education in APEC economy. Today, 18 October 2022. My name is Apinya Nimongkon.
And I'm Mr. Vashiravut Bongsuwan. It's our honor of both of us to be your master of ceremony for today's event. And actually, we would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to audience that joining us today, because there are so many varieties of an audience from many economies around the world.
Right, we would like to thank to each and every one of you for joining us today's event. Unfortunately, we couldn't organize on site and invite everyone to be here with us at Khon, Thailand. However, we are glad and we are able to share all together at the same time around the globe through online platform. So today's event will go virtually or completely online via Zoom meeting and YouTube Live.
Yes, and for the audience who would like to change your background screen, you can download by scanning the QR code that's showing on the screen now to download the background zoom. And for the one who would like to download, for example, like in YouTube Live, you can hit the link also that our staff sent to the chat.
Yeah, since the event is completely online for our management, we have set the microphone muted for general participants. Only speaker that can unmute themselves for their speech. So for those who would like to use the microphone, you need to be around by our host.
Yes, and I would like to inform you about the evaluation as well. And the end of today's events will be the evaluation form. And I would like to invite all of you to finish the evaluation form. And after you finish, you will get the certifications for joining us today's event.
Right, before we get started, should we briefly inform today's schedule?
That's all right. So for the first activity will be the opening remarks. For the opening remarks in these sections, is including to the report message by Associated Professor Dr. Maitri in Prasit, Vice President for Education and Academic Service. And he is also the Acting Director of Institute for Research and Development in Teaching Professions for ASEAN's Khon University. And after that will be the opening remarks by Dr. Laksamon Saman Sin, Acting Director of International Affairs Division's Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovations, Thailand. And after that will be the greeting remarks by Dr. Wang Yans from APEC's HRD Working Group Education's Network Coordinator. And lastly will be the welcome message from Associated Professor Chanchai Pantong Viryakun, President of Khon University.
Yes, session after that will be the project linkage. That will have 4 linkages that will be presented in this section. So as you can see on the screen right this moment, the first linkage is APEC PPTSI, and the second linkage is APEC HRD Working Group Lesson Study Project. And linkage 3 is APEC HRD Working Group in MSci Project. And the linkage 4 APEC workshop on AI and data science for education at the University of Tsukuba International Conference. For this session, it will be conducted by Professor Masami Isoda from the University of Tsukuba, Japan.
Yes, and the next sections will be the keynote speaker sections. And for these questions, there will be 3 of special lists of keynote speaker for today's event, including 2. The first will be Associated Professor Dr. Maitri in Prasit from Khon University with the topic of blended learning classroom model, focusing on integrating lesson study and open approach innovation for the new normal. And the next keynote speaker will be Professor Tae Kim Hong with the topic of lesson study on the experience of Semio. And the last one will be Dr. Wayudi from Simolex, Indonesia, with the topic of lesson study through the internet.
Right. After the keynote section, we will have 5 minutes break and then come back with the session report from APEC Economy. For that session, we will have 7 professors from APEC Economies to join us and provide their report. Focus on the achievement of the past lesson study project in APEC Economy and discuss the possible adaptation of AI and data science approach. And after the report from APEC Economies, it will be the Q&A session. For those who would like to add or ask some question, you can post and send it through the chat box of the Zoom meeting and YouTube Live. So your question will be responded by the speaker at that session. And after the Q&A session, it will be the last session of today's activity, which is closing ceremony.
Yes, I think it's time to start our event today. But before we move into the first sections of today's ceremony, I would like to invite all of you to watch our video as an introduction of APEC KKU 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to proceed to the opening ceremony. Firstly, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Maitri Inprasit, the Vice President for Education and Academic Services and Acting Director of Institute for Research and Development in Teaching Profession for ASEAN from Kaen University to deliver the report remark. Professor Maitri, please.
Good evening to everyone, Your Excellency Dr. Laksamon Samansin, Acting Director, International Affairs Division, Ministry of Higher Education Science, Research and Innovation of Thailand, President of Khon University, Associate Professor Chanchai Pantong Vriyakun, Dr. Wang Yen, APEC HRD Working Group Education Network Coordinator, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Vice President for Education and Academic Services, Acting Directors of Institute for Research and Development in Teaching Profession for ASEAN, Khon University, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Associate Professor Dr. Pasit Law Thilapong, the Ministries of Higher Education, Research, Science Research, Innovation and of Thailand, for your kindness in presiding over today's event, APEC Khon University 2022, under the themes Online Workshop for Lesson Study 2.0, focusing on artificial intelligence, data science for education in APEC Economies. Firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to today's event, overviews, importance, and objectives. In 2006, APEC projects began under the cooperation between Khon University, Thailand, and University of Tsukuba, Japan, with the support of the Office of the Higher Education Commission, Ministry of Education, then later the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation of Thailand. There are 5 series of these long-term projects so far. The first series in 2006 and 2008, the projects focused on innovative teaching mathematics through lesson study. This series were funded by APEC Central Fund. The second series in 2009 and 2011, it was self-fund projects that focus on mathematics textbooks, e-textbooks, and education tools. The third series in 2012 and 2014, it was APEC-funded projects again that focus on emergencies, preparedness, education. And the fourth series between 2015 and 2017, it was also the APEC-funded projects that focus on cross-border education and STEM education. During 2017 and 2018, it was the time to looking back. We tried to bridging 12 years of APEC lesson study in order to bring into the new idea of emphasize high-quality curriculum for digital economy. And then the fifth series between 2019 and 2021, before the COVID-19, it was APEC-funded projects that focus on inclusive mathematics for sustainability in digital economy, which is very, very timely projects. On this occasion, I would like to extend my most sincere appreciation to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, and Shosh Mahesi, for the consecutive support for the last 16 years until now. Without this support, we probably wouldn't come so far. For this series, we would like to continue improving education in APEC economies. We therefore launched a consecutive projects priority on innovation and digital transformation. The 2 online workshops will be conducted in this series. Third one, the workshop in Thailand in October 2022 focused on the achievement of past lesson study project in APEC, and also discuss the possible adaptation of AI and data science approaches. Second, the workshop in February next year, 2023, will focus on lesson study 2.0, which include using AI and data science approaches, discusses the usefulness and limitations of current technology, and seeks further development. Today's activity is contributed to taking responsibility for the issue of improving education in APEC economies. The main objective of today's event are to share the experience of APEC economies with teacher trainers in relation to past APEC lesson study project. An IMSI project to know the newest technologies for lesson study in education for innovation of teaching practice by using AI and data science. And to provide the information for teachers, trainers who support AI in education for the next generation in APEC, and produce a roadmap in each economy. The overview of today's activity will be including the three main sections, which are the project's linkage presentations section, including 4 linkage as follow. Linkage 1, APEC PPT SI. Linkage 2, APEC HRD Working Group on Lesson Study Projects. Linkage 3, APEC HRD Working Group and IMSI Project. And Linkage 4, Workshop on AI and Data Science for Education at the University of Tsukuba International Conference. Keynote speaker session, including 2 specialists. I myself will be the first keynote to give a talks on blended learning classroom or BLC models, integrating lesson study and open approach innovation for the new normal. Our second keynote will be Dr. Tae Kim Hong, the Association for Science and Math Education, Penang, Malaysia, on the topic lesson study on the experience of simios. Our third keynote will be Dr. Wayudi from Simolex, Indonesia. His topic will be lesson study through the internet. And the last session will be the report from Economy and also discussion. Today's event will be held in full 100 online organized by the Institute for Research and Development in Teaching Profession for ASEAN and the Division of Education, Khon University, in collaboration with the Center for Research in Mathematics Education, and also supported by the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, Thailand. We hope that in these new platforms, we can involve so far nearly 150 people from 12 economies such as Malaysia, Brunei, Japan, Singapore, Russia, Indonesia, South Africa, Taiwan, USA, Mexico, Philippines, Laos, and also around the world who interested and registered to participate in this event. I believe that the participants will have a great opportunity to share their experience and form a strong network in their fields during all sessions in this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Maitri Inprasit, for your message. So next, may I invite Dr. Laksamon Samansin, Acting Director of the International Affairs Division from the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation from Thailand, to deliver the opening remark. Dr. Laksamon, please.
สวัสดีค่ะ Associate Professor ชาญชัย พันทองวิริยกุล President of Khon University, distinguished speakers and participants, all APEC colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor and pleasure to be with you all today at the APEC 2022 online workshop for Lesson Study 2.0 AI and Data Science for Education in APEC Economies. On behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, or MESI Thailand, I would like to extend my cordial greeting and welcome to distinguished speakers, educators, scholars, and participants from APEC member economies. The workshop is not only meaningful as a joint mechanism to enhance the capacity of the mathematics teachers by using lesson study innovation, but also offer valuable opportunities for all of us to exchange teaching innovation and teacher professional developments. Since 2006, MESI and Khon University have been working closely with Japanese partners, MEX and University of Tsukuba, in order to develop and implement the project aiming to promote mathematics education and new teaching approach in APEC region. A long series of projects has become a good example of cooperation among APEC member economies in order to improve education and teaching innovation. Thanks a strong network of Thailand and Japan from the ministerial level, university level, and personal levels. The result of our projects have developed successfully and significantly. I believe that the workshop today will provide an opportunity to share ideas and experience that will help promote both teacher professional development and students' learning outcome far beyond the APEC region. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end my remark by expressing my sincere gratitude to you all for taking your time from your busy schedules to participate and contribute to this event. My appreciation is also extended to the host, Khon University, especially Associate Professor Maitri Intrasit, Vice President, for his contribution and dedication. With these remarks, I declare the APEC KKU 2022 online workshop for Lesson Study 2.0 AI and Data Science for Education in APEC Economies open. Wish you all success in your deliberation. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much, Dr. Laksamon, for your kindness in presiding over today's event. So next, may I invite Dr. Wang Yan, APEC HRD Working Group Education Network Coordinator, to give some greeting remark on this occasion. Professor Wang Yan, please. Sorry, Professor Wang Yan, we couldn't hear you. Can you turn on your microphone, please?
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly now.
Okay. Just give me a second. Dear Professor Dr. Maitri in Prasita, distinguished Dr. Laxman Smasin, and Professor Chan Chai Fanthongivira Yaku, and distinguished Professor Masami Soda. Dear colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. On behalf of the APEC HRDWG Education Network, I would like to warmly welcome all the participants and delegates to attend this event, online workshop for Lesson Study 2.0. I would also like to congratulate Japan Thailand for launching this workshop as the most important part of this project, and also like to thank Japan Thailand for proposing and implement this project, and my thanks also go to Khon University for hosting this workshop. I often tell people that this project originated from 15 years ago as the most sustainable education project in the sphere APEC. Is based on the long-lasting friendship, strong expertise, and also passion for education, which I really appreciate, and really set the best example for education cooperation in cross-border education of the APEC. And also, it's my great pleasure to witness the lesson study project, which is proposed by Japan Thailand in 2015, has informed school curricula, textbooks, STEM, and cross-border education to evolve into lesson study 2.0. This time in combination with the INSIDE project, that is inclusive mathematics for sustainability in digital economy, which has developed curriculum recommendations, specifically for artificial intelligence and data science. Application in artificial intelligence and data science hold enormous potential to improve adaptive learning, design better and more efficient curriculum, and support the teaching and learning processes. This is especially true in the age of digital transformation. The theme of this workshop is perfectly in line with one of the three economic drivers, innovation and digitalization set in APEC Putrajaya vision, and aligned with the theme of the APEC 2022, Open, Connect, and Balance. It also echoes one of the three pillars of APEC education strategy and its action plan, accelerate innovation, as well as priority action to promote science, technology, and innovation in education and pedagogical practices. I believe this workshop offers a great opportunity for educators, teachers, practitioners, and government officials, as well as other stakeholders, to discuss the achievements from previous lesson study projects, and also decipher the limitations and gaps, and seek potential adaptations of AI and data science approaches in education using collective wisdom. I look forward to the discussion and I wish the workshop a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wang Yan, for your message. On this occasion, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Maitri Inprasit to deliver some additional remark, please.
Good evening, Dr. Wang Yan. Thank you very much for spending time to address this online workshop. Professor Masumi Isoda and I try our best to organize this online workshop, and hopefully next year we will organize again in Tokyo, in Japan, and hopefully you will kindly come to join us someday in the near future. Thank you very much for your presenting at this event.
Thank you very much, Professor Maitri. Coming next, may I take this opportunity to invite Associate Professor Chanchai Pantongriyagun, the President of Khon University, to deliver a welcome message. The President, please.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues. On behalf of Khon University, Thailand, it's my great pleasure to extend my cordial welcome to all of you, especially those from abroad, to participate in the APEC Khon 2022 under the theme Online Workshop for Lesson Study 2.0 Artificial Intelligence and Data Science for Education in APEC Economies. As everyone knows that the key intention of this event is to provide the opportunity for the world-renowned experts and specialists in lesson study to share their experience and achievement of the past lesson study project in APEC Economies and discuss the possible adaptations of artificial intelligence and data science for education. It is high time that such an event took place to highlight how lesson study and scientific fields such artificial intelligence and data science involved in area of education transformation. Khon University is trying to meet with this transformation for the education paradigms by developing the general education courses program in computational and statistical thinking for ABCD and ABCD for all professions. The university also believes that development in both curriculums will promote the extensive learning skills for learners, which are an important foundation for higher education and lifelong learning. In this regard, I hope that the outcome of this event will lead to significant contribution to knowledge base in this up-to-date specific field of AI and data science for education. In addition, this online workshop based on the achievement of lesson study will assist the delegates to establish research relation as well as finding international linkage for future collaborations. I would like to extend my most sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation for the consecutive support along 16 years. Moreover, I wish to thank Dr. Lassamon Samansin, Acting Director, International Affairs Division, Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, Thailand, for presiding over the event. Thanks to our host institutions for this excellent coordination and preparation for this online workshop. Institute Research and Development in Teaching Profession for Asian, Khon University. The Center for Research in Mathematics Education, Khon University, Thailand. Last but not least, my heartiest congratulations to Project Linkage, Professor Dr. Masami Isuda, all the keynote speakers, APEC member, Economies, and all participants. This online workshop wouldn't have proved to be beneficial to this extent without your support. I am sure that this online workshop will be profitable and fruitful for everyone present here. I now take this honor to welcome all participants to the APEC Khon 2022 under the theme Online Workshops for Lesson Study 2.0 Artificial Intelligence and Data Science for Education in APEC Economies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the President of Khon University, and also thank you, Dr. Laxmon, Dr. Maitri, and Dr. Wang for your very able contribution to our event. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, may I invite all the participants who are attending via Zoom meeting to take a group photo together, please. So, when you are ready, please turn on your camera. And could you please keep smiling for a few seconds? And may I count from 5, 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Can I get some more shot? All right, for the second shot, please relax. And can I count from 5, 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. All right, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready to hear and learn from one of the most significant talk in the next section, which is linkage project. So, as we informed earlier, there are 4 linkages that will be presented and conducted by the Professor Masami Isoda from the University of Tsukuba, Japan. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Masami Isoda.
Thank you very much, Ms. Appiah. Can you listen?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you.
I would like to share my screen. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide on the screen right now.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to deeply acknowledge Dr. Wang Yan, APEC HRD working group, educate coordinator. She has been supporting our project, and on her support and under the all of Economies, we have been working together. Thank you very much. And at the same time, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Laxmon and Simon Singh and President Chanchai Patayagun for the all of support working together on this workshop. And at the same time, I would like to deeply acknowledge all of contributors and speakers and audiences, because we have been working together through this project. And at the same time, I also acknowledge Dr. Maitri and his team for setting this opportunity for us. Thank you very much. And my role in APEC project, the connecting with other project and the past project is mostly necessary opportunity to explain what project is, what our project is. Our project is the online workshop for lesson study 2.0. What is it? Okay, it is related with artificial intelligence and data science for education in APEC economies. And thank you very much today for all of your contribution and collaborations. And I will explain the project. Dr. Maitri already explained some, and this explanation is also collaborated with Dr. Maitri and all of you. Okay. Dr. Maitri already mentioned the history of our APEC project activities. Okay. Yellow part are related with mass education. And the green part and the orange part are related with those SEIMA. You see the SEIMA, right? Those SEIMAs, okay? Yellow, green, orange, okay? Those themes next themes are related with STEAM education and science education and so on, as well as math education. And we focus on the emergency preparedness education, and for the future prediction, we focus on the STEM and cross-border education. All of those are very much interesting and fruitful projects you already experienced. And the lesson study project is tentatively finished year 2018, and then we shifted as for the next step for the standard in relation to the standardization of the curriculum in the world. There are several movements. How can we standardize for the mobility, for supporting the mobility of the people? In that context, we begin to focus on computational and statistical thinking for AI and digital era. And we learned a lot from all of APEC Economies curriculum specialists and so on. Others. And that fruitful effort are published under the APEC on the name of this document. You see? Okay. And this for development of this document, Dr. Roberto Araya was also the project overseer, and Sofian Tajer's house was also the project overseer. And Orlando Gonzalez and all of you, many of you supported to develop this document. We discussed a lot. And we learned, all of us. Okay, and this product is the first basic product for today's workshop. And of course, based on the lesson study experience, also the base. And then I just would like to explain what is lesson study 2.0. Lesson study, it is design science for the lesson to represent or reproduce better practice which may promise to cultivate students such as Student Agency OECD 2030. And teacher learning together is one of the keynotes through the plan do see cycle. It is known as the lesson study process. And the most necessary things on our project, as the previous slide shown, for the lesson study, we need the study theme and learn together about the content, and then develop the clear objective under the theme. In that context, we have been working together. So having the theme and the objective is one of the key points, and sharing the theme and the objective is one of the key points for the lesson study. And the lesson study 2.0, it is related with AI and data science. However, not clear, not sure, because in process. But we want to propose based on the extended and beyond lesson study. And this terminology, lesson study 2.0 itself, is proposed by Dr. Roberto Araya. And the same one, developing, I would like to analyze three parts, three themes in relation to lesson study 2.0 for making clear the meaning. First theme is that developing innovative method of analysis as for sciences of lesson study by using AI and data science approaches. However, what is it? Okay, and why? Okay. And same as developing innovative teaching approaches by using newest educational environment systems software which embedded AI. Now we have a lot of software and environment which embedded AI already. Now we are using without clearly recognizing it. And what environment is it? Okay. And the same as three, developing innovative environment for extending and adapting the current product SEMA or objective of lesson study? How can we embed our experiences? Actually, we have a lot of experiences, so SEMA series is also one of the key issues. Okay, but at the same time, we should know that the SEMA 1 and the SEMA 2. And this diagram is written in this document and originated by the Dr. Roberto Araya. Dr. Roberto Araya is an AI scientist originally, and he well known, and he already published a book for the undergraduate programs for development of AI. So with working with Roberto Araya and others, we learned this problem solving process by using computational thinking. And firstly, fixed a type of knowledge of expert or machine learning, which we may need to choose. And when we have a lot of data, we can use machine learning. But we have not so much data, we may consider type of knowledge of expert. And depending on the case, we apply the heuristics and trying to find the rules and the programs. For coding, basically, we have to consider how to represent it. Actually, programming language very much mathematical language, as you know. So we have to change the representations, the daily activities, and the necessary conditions into the programming for coding. Okay? So on that analysis process is heuristics. Okay? And at the same time, the researchers like data scientists and AI scientists, they know a lot of scientific theories and already have computational models. They apply it for using, solving. Okay? And at the same time, machine learning, okay, there are unsupervised machine learning and supervised machine learning. There is a good model. Oh, this is a good class, good lesson. We have a lot of good lessons. Okay, we can engage in the supervised machine learning and which may recognize what is the good lesson under our chosen our selected examples. Okay. On the other hand, there are just do the machine learning. There are two types for machine learning. Okay? In any case, for problem solving by using the computational thinking, we may need to consider like this. And please read this document. This is such a thing that well discussed in this document. Okay? This is the curriculum reform recommendations. Okay. And then I would like to make the link with Asia and Pacific Scuba International Conferences. This is expected as a part of APEC meeting, but just done on this name. Okay? And actually, we already discussed lesson study 2.0. This is a slide from Dr. Roberto Araya. Okay? Through the APEC previous lesson study project, we learned from each other and we established a custom to show our classes. Dr. Roberto himself, so his class in Japan, he speaks Spanish and English, and the student learns through Japanese, so there is translators. Okay, and APEC in Chile meeting, we have Chilean National Congress meeting with support of Dr. Roberto and Dr. Raimundo Olfos and Dr. Soledad Esteras. Okay, so such experiences, we have a lot of experiences, and based on that, he proposed. Okay. And he compared with the medicine approach and our less educational approach. In the case of education, the random sampling is not easy. Sampling itself is not easy. So randomized control trial in education are proposed by World Bank, and how can we manage? And he showed the examples, various examples. He established the environment, online environment, and students participate in.
Excuse me,
And
Professor. You
like-
have 1 minute left. Could you please summarize your presentation, please?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. And such a discussion he showed, and at the same time, he showed the other possibilities by using the software and analyze the lesson. And at the same time, by using the AI, he used the data and analyzed and developed the models to analyze the lesson processes. Okay? He showed such examples. And Robert also discussed the contamination medical models and how it changes by the data science and informatics methodologies to analyze the class. Okay. And another very much interesting proposal is done by Dr. Shingo Hatame. Okay. See, in the area of education, English education is mostly advanced to apply the AI and data science approaches. And there are several matters of language education, and there are several methodologies. And she shows easier applications we can do by ourselves. He shows us very nice examples to familiar the AI using in education. Okay, and so please visit the website. And lastly, Dr. Maitri, Dr. Liu, and Dr. Kato, and Dr. Farida, and Dr. Gwen explained the teacher education programs for AI and data science era. Thank you very much. This is a review of the last meeting, and based on that, today we discuss. And this is the information for the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Masami Isuda from the University of Tsukuba, Japan, for giving a talk and discussions about what is Lesson Study 2.0 and what we have done so far. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to bring all of you to the next sessions for today's event, which is keynote speaker sessions. And here in this session, there will be 3 of specialists who will give a talk for these sessions. And firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to invite Associated Professor Dr. Maitri in Prasit for giving a talk on the topic of blended learning classroom model in integrating lesson study and open approach innovation for the new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Very good evening to everyone, and thank you very much for joining these sessions. My talk today will focus on what we have been doing during the last 16 years in, I can call, APEC lesson study community. I myself has been involved in this APEC lesson study project since the beginnings in 2006. During that time, things Professor Masami Soda and I try to collaborate to bring the ideas of lessons study. In fact, a Japanese lesson study approach to introduce to APEC member economies. And at the same time, we had an idea how we can improve the classroom practice, is focus on enhancing the thinking skills of our children, preparing them for the 21st centuries. Keeping this in mind, to integrate the way that we have learned that Japanese elementary teachers has been working through lesson study for more than 100 years, and integrate this idea with the classroom practice, the Japanese style of structure, problem solving approach among APEC member economy is not, I think it's not easy. So we planned our projects into 4 phases. The first phase, we bring our specialists and school teachers and education personnel to see what we call a visual classroom in Japan. Then we try this idea in our classroom in each member economy. Then we develop our own models. In our case in Thailand, after years, we then allowed 2011, I myself had developed what we call Thailand lesson study open approach. I incorporate the 4 steps of open approach, the open approach methods that's very famous in Japan during 1970 and 80. I integrate the 4 steps of open approach in order to transform the classroom practice in Thailand. Certainly, the way we try to change our teacher teach in the classrooms, it takes time. And the most important issues is how we bring our teacher to work together. So we formed an idea that if we incorporate the 4 steps of open approach in the classroom with the 3 basic steps of lesson study, which the teachers have to form a lesson study team to work together, will be a key success factors. We try to create a weekly cycle of learnings for a lesson study team members, meaning that each teams of lesson study says, for example, the grade 1, 2, 3 teacher form one team, and grade 4, 5, 6 form another teams, or in some case, the teacher of junior high school 1, 2, 3 form another team. So at least in the expansion school, which is the most biggest number of school in Thailand, I think this is more than 50% of the number of school in Thailand is an expansion school, which is consists of 6 elementary schools and another 3 years of junior high school. We try to form a weekly cycles of learning in order the school teachers have a basics PDCA to improve their own practice. The first step of this Thailand lesson study open approach, in once a week, each teams in the school have to work together to create, design the lesson plans, focusing on how to anticipate the student ideas. If then they will have a plan working together, bringing into the classroom in the whole weeks, and the teams implement these plans, follow a 4-step open approach that try to change the roles of the teachers in the classroom. They present or pose the problem situation in the classroom, and then waiting for the student to solve or to learn by themselves. They change the role to observe the student idea, taking notes, and then bring to the third step for discussion until the student becomes aware of the idea, the friend idea, or the whole class idea, things like this, and then come to the fourth step to try to discuss, to connect the idea happen in the classroom. Hopefully that it will become a how to learn for future problem solving of the student. Then come by the end of the weeks, the school principals or the headmaster takes the leadership to do a post discussion once a week, and then this becomes a cycle. I call it a weekly cycles of learnings. I think this is from the basics unit of what we call a professional learning communities, which is aligned with the Ministry of Education policies that try to change the way the teacher work at the school to work as a member of professional learning community. And in each team, they become what we call a PLC1. And by the end of the weeks, they participate in a PLC2, a school weekly cycle of learning. Then by the end of the semester, they also participate in a semester cycles of learning, or PLC3. And by the end of school or year or academic year, we provide a platform so that teachers from various schools or with the sums of the collaborative or project school can share the experience in what we call a PLC4 or yearly cycles of learning. We call a national open class, which is we organize so far is more than 15 years already. You can see that we drastically change the way our teachers works alone or separately to become a member of a lesson study team in a school. And you can imagine that we do this way to drive what we call a whole school approach since 2006. And we started with the two collaborative or project school with the Center for Research and Mathematication and also the Faculty of Education, Khon University. I can name the first two school which is implements this Thailand lesson study open approach, the Khukam Pithiyasan School in Samsung districts, 30 or 40 kilometers far from Khon Kaen, and another school south parts of Khon Kaen downtown, Chumchon Ban Chonabot, which is also nearly 50 kilometers south of Khon Kaen. And the following years, another two project school also add up to this project. So the first 2 years, we started at least 4 project school implementing the Thailand lesson study open approach. But at that time, we mainly focused on creating these weekly cycles of learning in the schools and the 4 steps of open approach to transform the classroom practice in the classroom. You see, seeing from the physical point of view, the Thailand lesson study open approach have been implemented in the physical settings. Now, I can say that under the conditions of physical setting, the students and the teachers worked or learned at their class and their school. But as we all of us would witness the COVID-19 disruption, the whole world have to change the way we have to organize the school. During the last 2-3 years, since 2019, 2020, and 21, had been the school closures and the terms like learning loss has become widespread along the globe. The high-speed advance of technologies has been catalyzed and boosted up during the last 3 years. Peoples around the world had been discussed the way we organize learning. But to me, what I would like to discuss is, so what is the real conditions of education during COVID-19 pandemic? Most of the people has been claimed that online makes the learnings organizations has not been successful, and striving for or try to resume back to on-site classroom. But to me, I think the conditions for classroom practice has been completely changed. Is it not the on-site and online is the conditions for successful of learnings? I propose we as the educationalists, or for school teachers, even in the physical classroom, we have the part that students have to have at times that they can do some things by themselves. I will call them self-learning. And another part, we call it intellectual learning. I would like to focus on these two parts instead of focus on on-site and online. During many years that we implement the Thailand Lesson Study Open Approach, we have the part that the first and the second step, which this part, the student solves the problem by themselves with less interference by the teachers. So if we can manage this self-learning part somewhere outside the classroom, could we do that? To me, I say, yes, we can do this part. Need not to bring the student to come to the classrooms in order that they can do their self-learning. If we can carefully design the problem situation and we carefully design to show them the instruction so that the student could understand the instruction, so that the student can be engaged in the problem situation. So until they have their own problem or their own interest, we can do this somewhere. For example, at their student homes. So if we can manage these parts, and the focus is the student should bring the idea, the way they have their own problems, the way they solve the problems, for further intellectual learnings, which this idea, or with its two conditions, the self-learning part, we can organize somewhere or anywhere with the support of the technology. And the student prepares the idea, the way they have the problem, the way they solve the problem, and etc., bringing for discuss, for interaction with the teachers, where we can organize both virtuals or face-to-face. So seeing in this slide, you will see that the new conditions which we should bring to blend and organize a new classroom, or I can call it the extended classroom, which is need not to be in the physical setting as we usually do before COVID. You see, in this slide, we manage self-learning, or I can name it on-demand classroom. And the other part, learnings through interaction or interaction learning, which the student bring some things for further discussion. In this part, we need to have appointment, and I can call a live classroom, which is two parts of live classroom. The virtual live classroom or the face-to-face classroom. With it, two new conditions, we can have what I can call a blended learning. If we wisely organize, time manage, with the self-learning part, we can spend most of the time at their home, or student homes, and then we can minimize the way the student will be interact with the teachers. You see that this idea will change the way we organize the classroom. And yes, I will show you a model was what I just explained. The blended learning in these extended classrooms, the new extended classroom are designed to blend student learnings and interaction for active learning. I will show you the models for easily understand. The blended learning classroom model, the self-learning part you see in the red part, we can organize, we can prepare for the student to have their interests and their own problems somewhere. I can call it ODZ, or on-demand classroom. But certainly you have to well prepare to be sure that your student can have their own interest, their own problem. Under some condition, you can prepare toolkit, thing, and etc. And after the student spend most of their time, you can give like 50 or 60% of the total 100% for ODZ at their student home. It is up to your design. And the student have to record. So whatever, they can use a smartphone, they can someone with the parent support. Anyway, they can record the idea, the way they solve the problem, and etc. and bring for interactions learning. I decided to have two classrooms, the VLC, the virtual or visual or virtual classroom. In this part, the student bring the idea and learning together and collaborative learnings. This is a chance for them to see various aspects of the problem situation we provide them. And in the last part, the FFC, or the face-to-face classroom, the condition which we are so familiar. But this idea has been changed. For face-to-face classroom, the students and the teachers had focused on reflecting on the idea so that they can bring it or in further use or when they face a new problem situation. So I would like to end up with this, that we adapt the idea of Thailand lesson study, open approach, which is the new conditions, the self-learning and interaction learning forms the new idea for extended classrooms. I hope that these proposals and this idea will be useful for improving your classrooms, both your student learning and also teachers' learnings. You can share the experience when you implemented these models in your classroom and in your economy. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any discussion, comments, and questions, you can send through the chat box so that our team can give it to me and then I will respond. In any case that I cannot respond to by the end of this session, hopefully that I can send you later through the emails. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Maitri, for giving us a talk and the idea of the Thailand lesson study and open approach and the idea of the blended learning classroom model for runnings and to continue our educations for this disruption era. And thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, secondly, I would like to take this opportunity to invite our next keynote speakers, which is Professor Tae Kim Hong from the Association for Science and Mathematics Education, Penang, Malaysia, to give a talk on the topic of lesson study on the experience of semio. Ladies and gentlemen, please join and welcome her.
A very good day to everyone. I am Kim Hong, affiliated to the Associations for Science and Mathematics Education Penang, Malaysia. Today, I would like to share my talk on lesson study, a semio experience. And the talk will be focused on the influence of APEC's lesson study project on semio, keeping up with the trends, issues, and sustainability. Lesson study was first introduced in Malaysia through University Science Malaysia in 2004. It was introduced as an exploratory study and then extended to postgraduate study in schools. Not long after that, the implementations of the APEC Tsukuba lesson study project in 2006 have actually stirred some interest among local researchers and teachers. Lecturers and specialists from USM and Wrexham participated. The ideas brought back subsequently influenced the focus of lesson study at that time. For example, in 2006, they start to do on good practices, then on mathematical thinking, and also other projects on lesson study collaborations. The lesson study program in APEC in the first 5 years contributed significantly to the deepening of pedagogical content knowledge for mathematics teaching and learning. And it was also that time I started to participate in lesson study as observer and workshop participant. How do other senior centers respond towards the APEC lesson study project? Let's take a glance at the infographic below. Senior KTAP in mathematics have conducted several lesson study workshops. It then had collaborated with Senior Wrexham to conduct workshops on mathematical thinking. And KTAP in science also organized international seminar on lesson study. Other centers such as Retract and Senior Innotech also organized workshops. So the implementation has actually triggered a lot of interest in several senior centers. And what is the status of lesson study in senior Wrexham? Specialists attend the APEC lesson study project and share the new knowledge with the specialists, with other specialists in the center, and also other teachers through research findings regarding lesson studies. And in the year 2008, Wrexham and USN engaged in a larger scale collaboration project. In that project, 10 lesson study groups in 10 schools were carried out. And the lesson study focused on mathematical thinking and mathematical communications through lesson study collaborations among the mathematics teacher. And a joint national lesson study conference was carried out, sharing lesson study experience. Other than that, in the year 2008 and 2010, Maths Lesson Study project was carried out in 4 primary schools. And the teachers involved had identified 4 challenges: time, volunteering for lesson study, timetabling, and teaching ideas. And in fact, all these challenges still persist in our recent lesson study. And of course, some suggestions were offered to overcome the challenges. The science specialists also conducted lesson study in the year 2011. 5 primary and secondary schools were involved in that lesson study. Science teachers were introduced with lesson study processes and also as a strategy for enhancing teacher professional development. As the usual practice, a seminar on lesson study was conducted, gathered all the science teachers involved to learn about what is lesson study and how to carry out lesson study. There was a successful outcome where teachers agreed that lesson study indeed helped in the improvement in pedagogy and also professional development. And due to positive feedback, that has boosted the confidence of the specialists to include lesson study as an improved pedagogy in conducting various courses since then. After the project, more sharings have taken place. For example, in 2010 and 2012, lesson study was included in the regular course. In 2011 and 2013, lesson study was a main focus in the in-country training for Malaysian teachers and also teachers in Cambodia. In 2012, lesson study was also shared in the Academy of Singapore Teachers. There was other lesson study development. In 2011, the Teacher Education Division in MOE officially adopted the lesson study program. And at that time, it involved 289 primary and secondary low-performing schools to participate in lesson study project. It was a very important take-off because it was a national project. And they have adopted a cascading model involving 6 lesson study zone level workshops. And this is how it is cascaded, starting from the head of the subject panel and officers of the district office. It goes to the teachers in the district level, and finally setting up the lesson study group for respective subjects in different schools. After the project, a lesson study seminar was held in Wrexham with open class conducted by experts from Japan. In 2012, the project was renamed as PLC, More schools were added in 2013, 14, and 15. Lesson study was widespread. It involved about 4,000 teachers who learned and do lesson studies at that time. Wrexham played a very important supporting role in promoting lesson study. By then, lesson study was disseminated nationally. Wrexham's continual participation in APEC's lesson study project consolidated the related knowledge and skills in lesson study. And because of that, the specialists were able to make adjustment and improvement to course content. They were able to align course content to the latest trend in mathematics and science educations. And there were also improvements in the new content, such as listed here. Now, the next question is how to disseminate all this. Of course, it is done through training courses and programs offered in Wrexham. For example, the regular course, which is done 4 times a year, involves in-service teachers from 11 senior countries. In-country training is also offered to teachers in senior countries upon request. Another interesting program is the customized course, and it is done upon request. The training of third country training. Another interesting program is the customized course, which is done upon request. The third country training program, supported by JICA and Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program, involve African teachers. And other than that, the MTCP, if courses are supported by MTCP, then it will cover more teachers, teachers that come from the wider region, from Africa, from ASEAN, countries from Eastern Europe, and even countries in the South Pacific. Besides that, workshops were regularly promoted. Workshops were regularly done to promote best practices, and also colloquium is a platform for sharing new learnings. All this initiative is to develop professional practice and also as a catalyst for the advancements of science and maths educations. How extensive is the influence of APEC's lesson study? And it's easy to see how far it reached out. The APEC project starts from Japan, and the specialists brought back the knowledge and skills of lesson studies and shared that among the specialists in the center. And they engaged in lesson study project in the local community. The new knowledge and skills are incorporated in the programs and disseminated through courses and benefited teachers in the senior region. And if they are TCTP courses, then it also shared with teachers in the African countries. As I mentioned before, if the courses are sponsored by MTCP, we were able to reach out to more countries, as shown here. How big is the number? An example of participation in 2019 and 2020 in CIMIO, out of all these courses listed, there are about 1,400 teachers that participated in courses conducted by Wrexham. Looking back in the year 2017 and 2018, we seem to have more participations, about 2003 and also 2001. And in the year 2019, we have about 1,000 less, probably due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Other than that, the focus area has also shifted to learning standards, curriculum development, problem solving, and computational thinking. Other than conducting lesson study research, we also keep up with the trends and focus of the APEC lesson study in other programs. For example, the specialists from the center participate in the translations of Japanese math textbook into the English editions. There was participations of cross-border lesson study with the school in Philippines, and many workshops were conducted to promote mathematical thinking and mathematical communications. Wrexham was also engaged in a regional project in producing Common Core regional learning standards for mathematics and science. And this project involved the support of many parties, such as CIMO Secretariat, curriculum experts of CIMO countries, teachers, science and maths teachers, both local and from CIMO countries. And besides that, Tsukuba University also supported the center with a joint seminar searching for quality mathematics curriculum framework. Besides that, different level of workshops were conducted to gather the curriculum specialists, teachers, educators for science and mathematics to participate in brainstorming, to compare curriculum of different countries, mapping, and also identify common learning to be used as draft of the learning standards. And specialists in the center are coordinators. After the publications of the document, there was a concern about how widespread or who will use the document. Of course, there were recommendations, but we are really not sure of how far it reached. However, in Wrexham, we have used the framework in maths and science training courses with emphasis of maths process and thinking, mathematical values, and later we also developed guidebooks for teachers and teacher educators based on the learning standards to help them understand mathematics better. And besides that, Kitab in Maths also used the document in Marwa Diagnostic Assessment Project. And recently, Kaen University also used the framework in the Blended Learning Project. Now back to the guidebook. There was a collaborations project initiated by CRISET and the participating institutions, CIMO Wrexham, Kaen University, IPSD Thailand, and KITAB. 3 books were produced. At this time, book 2 are in print, and you can get the soft copy of these books in the CIMO Wrexham websites or the CRISET website. Now, every learning standards in the CCRNS document is translated into mathematical tasks. And many of the ideas from the Japanese textbooks and ideas promoted through the APEC Lesson Study Project are included in all these books. There are also improvement in the in-service training program. From 2015 to 2020, the structured problem solving was especially emphasized in the training courses. And this is one of situations where teachers from Timor-Leste and Philippines participated in the school tryout on how to teach mathematics through problem solving. Lesson study workshops are still promoted. In these workshops, participants are taught how to carry out lesson studies and to promote lesson study as a new dimension for teacher professional development. And through these workshops, they are able to broaden and deepen the mathematical process and thinking for understanding mathematics. Workshops are conducted to promote mathematical thinkings and also mathematical communications. In year 2018, Professor Isoda was in the center to share his expertise with the teachers. And other than that, the framework is included into the course content and used in the lectures, such as for teaching argumentations, representations, for reasoning, and also on how to formulate task sequence to guide students towards conceptual understanding of mathematics. Teaching through problem solving was also shared with African educators. For example, like in the year 2016, the participants went through learning about how to solve problems individually, how to do discussion in the class, and then they have a tryout in school. And during that time, there was also a participation of the JICA officer, and after that, there was reflection sessions after the school tryout. Simulation is very unique. Through participations in APEC lesson study, other crisis collaboration project, and Simeo school network, a lot of new knowledge has been gained, and all these are able to enhance and develop the quality of in-service training. And this brought about the multiplier effect of training and disseminations of the knowledge, reaching out teachers far and wide, Simeo region, to the African countries and beyond. There are issues in sustainability. In recent years, mathematics and science specialists have short common tenure. It's about 2 to 3 years. And this imposes a constraint in the continuity of programs. And expertise is also needed to expand and extend the lesson study related programs. And specialists should keep abreast with trends in mathematics and science educations, and upscaling the expertise of specialists in various fields, engaging in quality teacher education research that informs and is applicable to best practices in the classroom. In conclusion, the APEC lesson study project did trigger interest of Rexon specialists to learn and do lesson studies and to promote lesson studies in the community. It has created awareness among specialists for making improvements to the content of science and mathematics training courses. And without doubt, CRISET plays a very vital role in supporting Simeo centers, particularly Simeo Rexon, to be at the forefront of teacher professionalism in science and mathematics. And this is my sharing, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Tae Kim Hong, for sharing your experience of Simeo. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions during our keynote speaker presenting his topic or their topics, so you can leave the questions on the chat box via Zoom, or you can leave on live chat via YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving to the last keynote speaker for these sessions. On these occasions, I would like to invite Dr. Vayudi from Semulex, Indonesia, to give us a talk on the topic of lesson study through the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him.
Thank you very much, moderators. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sawadee-krap. Warm greetings from Simu Simulek, Jakarta, Indonesia. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Maitri Imprasrita from the Institute of Research and Development in Teaching Profession for ASEAN, Khon University, and also Professor Masami Isuda from Christchurch, University of Tsukuba, Japan. Indeed, it is a great honor for me from Simu Simulek to share with you during this webinar about lesson study through the internet. Please allow me to share my screens. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wahyudi from Simu Simulek, Jakarta, Indonesia. And today, I would like to share about my presentations, which will be divided into 3 sections. The first one is an introduction about Simulek in brief. The second one, I would like to present to you about lesson study before and during pandemic in our experiences, focusing on adaptation of lesson study during the pandemic. And finally, we'd like to propose on the way forward. How can we improve our lesson study practices by using the internet? Now, I would like to introduce you about Simulek in brief. Our centers, established on 27 February 1997, hosted by Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, Republic of Indonesia. And our compounds located in Open University Complex, Tangerang Selatan, Banten, Indonesia, with the visions to be the center of expertise in open and distance learning. And our missions to assist member countries in identifying educational problems and finding alternative solutions for sustainable human resources development through the dissemination and effective use of open distance learning. This is our simple and humble office with 50 staff. And we have 4 main tasks. First, we provided trainings to our educators. We also conduct research and developments on the effective use of open distance learnings. Also, we provide consultation service to our stakeholders, how to develop LMS, how to develop their open and distance learnings. And of course, we also conduct information disseminations through our newsletters, through our websites, and also through our conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Center for Open and Distance Learnings, so we dedicated our Simulek massive open online courses. We have around 96 courses, consist of 51 open educational resources and 45 massive open online courses. With the more than 1,000 contents, I believe our MOOC is very useful for our stakeholders to be used and to be visited. And so far, we already have more than 50,000 users benefited from our MOOC. This is the example of our OER, MOOC, both in Bahasa Indonesia and English. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the number online trainings done by Simulek from 2016 up to now. On the top, this is the courses provided in Bahasa, servicing to our Ministry of Education. And below, we provided also our training in English, which caters all stakeholders in our region, Southeast Asia. And this is the menu for some of the training program from our educators, ranging from optimization of office applications, also design presentation, infographics, up to the most advanced technology now, 3D visualizations, AR or augmented reality developments, VR, virtual reality developments, IoT, Internet of Things, digital class, and the most recent is on metaverse. Metaverse is the next generation of internet that facilitate us to connect with each other, presenting interaction and immersive experiences. Through metaverse, we can exchange informations, interact socially, also have creative spaces, collaborate, and conduct learning discussion, as well as simulations for training and laboratory work. Will be very great experiences if we can develop our metaverse for education. Here is our online learning platforms. We have e-learnings with this address. Also, we have Siajar learning management systems dedicated to our English applications. And also, we have developed, for example, here is the Common ASEAN Tourism Curriculum or CATC-based online courses. And for our digital resources, we have both printed and digital modules. We also have a collection of video through our YouTube channels. And now we under development is artificial intelligence chatbot for English foreign language, and also prototype mobile learning with visualizations. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to move to what are the driving factors of transformation in education, including the lesson study practices. As we all know, now we have very massive advanced information and communication technology in which internets we have reached maybe the utmost advanced situations. Also, the second one is about the COVID-19 pandemics. These two driving factors change the way we live, change the way we teach, and also change the way we interact with others. I still remember that I'm the product of, you may say, the before millennials. I remember the way my teachers teach me, educate me, the way we interact with each other, and so on. And it is totally different what happens now. Now, despite the in-person communications, mostly our interactions between the teacher, student is dominated by our technology named internet. And what happened with COVID-19? Actually, when we're talking about the internet and communication technology, say a decade ago, we already know the advance and the benefit of ICT. However, the intentions, the way we use it, is a bit lag behind because we think that it is not necessary. Yet, during COVID-19 pandemics, we are all being forced to maximize, to intensively use the ICT. So, during the COVID-19, so many things happens, changes from the way we interact, the way we handle our works, which previously seldom utilized or maximize the ICT. But to COVID-19, it shapes the way we interact, the way we learn, also the way we communicate, and so on. In short, that the power of internet for us to conduct lesson study is very clear. We can say in short that today internet has shrinks the globe into a single room. We can interact easily, communicate easily, even everything is on at our fingertips. We can order our favorite foods, we can buy the ticket and so on. So the question, why not we use it for our education? Why don't we use it for our teaching and learning processes. And also, why don't we utilize the ICT in our lesson study practices? Ladies and gentlemen, so I still remember it is like a fond memory for me personally and also for our colleagues for APEC study group. Yeah. The way we observe, the way we learn from our Sifu master in Japan for doing lesson study. I remember it in February every year. We are invited, we are joins the open classroom for the master, the teacher model, presenting their journey to teach such topic in mathematics meaningfully and also joyfully. So it happens, we communicate, we gather in one place, and then we saw the presentations, we listen to the comment and so on. So everybody learns. But during the COVID-19, we cannot get together in one place. However, through technology, we can connect each others. Even before COVID-19, actually, the power of ICT can bring us together. For example, I still remember when we conduct cross-border online study between Thailand, in this case is Khon University, and Indonesia, namely Semoki Teknik Mathematics, in which I was there during my time as Deputy Director for a program. So here in the slide, you can see how our students from Khon University demonstration schools connects to our students from SMP Negeri 4 Pakums in the same topic of energy. The sharings, how the teacher deliver the topics, and then we can learn each other's the way they tackle the issue of energy. They have the common thought and so on. So in short, technology, in this case ICT, enable us educators to do cross-border educations. In more specific, we can utilize ICT in doing lesson study. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the second sessions. I'm being so lucky when I visited my previous office in Sikkim to attend the 7th International Symposium on Mathematics Education Innovation, or SMI. I met with one of our alumni in 2016, one of the participants on lesson study courses. Yeah. His name is Mr. Arifin, and I'm so happy that he also joined with us this evenings to learn together. So during the symposium, I approached him and have a chit-chat whether Arifin can follow up, can disseminate what he has learned during the course of lesson study in 2016. And I was so happy when he said, yes, Baba. Even during the pandemic, we try to keep doing our lesson study. And my questions, how you do that? How you did it, Baba, with your teams? Okay. So he said that, we try to use the technology, namely in this case is internet. We use, Mr. Arifin said that he and his team using Microsoft Team platforms to connect to each other, to discuss, and in short, to do lesson study. And then we discuss what are the challenges and promises and what is the way forward for doing lesson study. So thank you, Pak Arifin, for sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, on my first question to Pak Arifin, Bapak, did you and your colleges, can be local or international, conduct lesson study during the pandemic? And the answer is yes, we did, Pak Wahyudi. This is the example of our classroom activities during the pandemics, in which, as he mentioned before, Pak Arifin and the group using Microsoft Team to conduct the lesson study, to conduct the lesson practices in the classroom as well. This is a kind of a big breakthrough for Pak Arifin and the team, because as informed by Pak Arifin, the location of the school is very remote, and also the student come from the middle and lower classes. This is the picture of the teachers sharing each other's, how they plans, how they choose the teacher model, how do they observe the classroom delivery, and how do they do the reflections. So my question to Arifin, how did you and your colleges communicate, namely observe, sharing teaching and learning activities, do reflections, which online platform did you use frequently? It's very clear already. Okay. So in response to these questions, Arifin said that through the MKMP, this is a kind of the community of practice in which the teachers from one district get together to learn each other in a forum. So he said they usually communicate using Microsoft Team meeting virtually every Thursday. And also during the meeting, they decided the teaching materials. I believe this is a kind of what is the most difficult topic to teach, and also who will be in the teacher model. Such like common on the normal lesson study cycle. Next, we discuss about what is the challenges, Bapak, in so doing virtual observation and reflections as compared to the traditional one. We meet in persons, we discuss, we listen to each other, and so on. So, according to Pak Arifin's, well, for doing virtual observe and reflections, we have limitations. We cannot maximally get into the meanings when we observe through the screen. Yeah, when we, according to Pak Arifin, when we conduct reflection, observation in person, we see the gestures, we have the deep meaning of our interactions. But when we do online, yes, we just see the screens. Well, there is a button from emoticons, but according to him, it is not so satisfying for her understandings. Okay. And the next, so well, that's the limitation. How about the benefit, Arifin, in so doing virtual observation and reflections? Well, of course, but it is easy for us. Time savings. Also, we can visit anytime we want because we recorded our observations. According to him, using Teams, I believe this is the Microsoft Team and Google Meet in various ways for learning, sharing for evaluations. Also, we can place the assignments for students. And as mentioned before, make a recording, and most importantly, we can recap the student activities in the meeting. So handy, easy, time savings. That's the benefit of doing virtual observation through the internet. This our discussions. Thanks to the technology, thanks to the internet, it is like the lesson learned from Pak Arifin and his group. Despite the conditions, and I believe this is the lesson learned from everyone in these webinars, how can we utilize the power of internet to maximize our service to our educations. In terms of lesson study, we believe that despite we spread it even from around the globe, we can connect, we can communicate with our friends in US, in other part of the world, and so on, to discuss, to talk the same things, the topic of lesson study. And then we can make kind of appointments. Who will be the model teachers? Who will deliver the teachers? When and with students? What assignments? And perhaps after the observation, after the one cycle, then we can decide it, agree among each others when to have open classroom, as we usually have in February in Sukuba. This summary of our sharing practices from one of our alumni, Bapak Arifin and the teams, in doing lesson study by using internet during the pandemic. Okay. And so I would like to move to the last part of our presentations, the way forwards. What kind of a commitment do we have? And so we are very glad when Pak Arifin committed himself to, well, I would like to have my commitment, Bapak, to continuously conduct lesson study and also do more collaborations. And we at Siamolek is very happy, Pak Arifin and all our webinar participants. Siamolek is open and welcome for collaborations. We are happy to support you, to collaborate with others, whether to provide you the training or even provide you the platform for doing lesson study. So this is a kind of like the humble and gentle invitation to everyone. Please contact me through our, well, you can also subscribe to our social media. For Facebook, Simulex, from Instagram, also Simulex, our Twitter, and also our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. You can contact me at wahyudi@simulec.org. Also, you can text me on WhatsApp. Thank you very much. I would like to give back screen to our moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sawadee.
Then I would like to say ขอบคุณครับ which mean thank you in Thai for Dr. Wayudi for giving us a very special speech and significant idea and sharing the duties of Semulex for us. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a break for 5 minutes and take some rest, grab your coffee and tea, and see you in 5 minutes later. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the APEC KKU 2022 online workshop. And from now on, I would like to bring all of you to the next sections, which is Economy Reports. In these sections, there are 7 representatives from 5 economies who will give a report for us. And firstly, I would like to invite the first representative from Chile economy, which is Professor Roberto Araya from Universidad de Chile. And Professor Roberto Araya, you've got 6 minutes. If you're ready, please begin.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you, Professor.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see.
So,
Please.
First, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you. I'm really pretty surprised that all the amount of teachers and researchers in this meeting. I want to thank Professor Maitri Brashita for not only for this seminar, but all these years, 20 years working on the open approach. And also would like to thank to Professor Masami Soda of his leadership in introducing lesson study and all these different applications of lesson studies these last 20 years. I'm going to talk about what we've been doing in Lesson Study 2.0 using artificial intelligence and data science, and particularly how to boost students' written mathematical argumentation. So, okay. I don't know why it doesn't move this. Is this now? No. Okay. So, I'm trying to follow Professor Masari framework. First, the idea is developing innovative method of analysis. I'm going to see how artificial intelligence can do this. Second, new teaching approaches using artificial intelligence and innovative environments. We've been working in argumentation. We have analyzed for the last couple of years around almost 16,000 written answers to open-ended questions by students. We just published in the Journal of Intelligence an analysis of what the kids, these fourth graders, write and how they argument. And we're using artificial intelligence to try to understand how to do all this analysis. And now we have this educational malnutrition provided by the COVID, and also we did some efficient recovery plan. We have been almost a year and a half without face-to-face lessons in Chile, so it's big educational malnutrition. I'm going to show you how we're doing using 2 strategies for argumentation, peer review, and inner speech. So we're trying to do the student written argumentation. Now we have around 140 schools, 5,000 students. They're back to classrooms and they're writing in 1 session per week. They have some part of it in an open question. They have to write the argumentation why they solve it in a certain way. And these are the schools, around 137 schools in the country, in the capital of the country. This is for example, these are the weeks, and this is just like 12 schools. And each week we count, because they're writing the computer, the number of words, the average length of student response each week. So we're keeping track of this and how they are doing. And this is just the length of the answers, written answers. This is a big amount of data. We have now almost 100,000 answers of these fourth graders. And also we're using peer review. So this is what different students here and what they're answering, given explanation. And this is a commentary by a peer of the same classroom. that just comment on this. So we're trying to see the peer review into the classroom to this open-ended question when the student have to write and give some explanation why they're doing in this way. The second strategy is using Vygotsky internalization idea that the argumentation start with an external social speech, then there is an internalization process to private speech, and then to inner speech. So you talk to yourself and you argument before writing. And for that, we're using the idea is that individual homological reasoning is a parasite of the dialogical reasoning. For that, we're introducing some hand puppets. And so the kids first start with the hand puppets. This is like a small pivot that help develop this internal argumentation. And these are
Excuse me, Professor, you have 1 more minute left. Could you please give us a summary, please?
Okay. So what the kids before writing, they talk with their hand puppet and they do this dialogue before writing. And so we're using natural language processing, and we have 2 big questions using natural language processing that is part of artificial intelligence. First is, what is the effect of this peer review idea on currents of written answer to open-end questions? So what is the real impact? And the second question we are doing research on is, what is the effect of this hand puppet, this idea of Vygotsky's idea and dialogic reasoning with yourself and inner speech? What is the effect of this on occurrence of the written answer to open-ended questions? So that's what we're doing now in this project with 137 schools. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Roberto Araya. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite the next representative from Chile Economy as well. Here I would like to invite Professor Raimundo Alfoy and Professor Soledad Estrella from Universidad Católica de Valparaíso, Chile. Professor, if you're ready, you've got 6 minutes, please. Excuse me, Professor, can you hear us clearly? Please turn on your microphone. I think you still didn't turn on your microphone. Yes, Professor.
It's okay?
Yes, I
It's
can
okay
hear you.
now?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you very much. Please start.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This presentation is about the challenges of developing student statistical reasoning in times of data science, feeling experience in early statistics. Raimundo Olfos and me, Soledad Estrella, were our university, Pontificia Universidad Católica de Valparaíso, in Chile. Okay. Next. We believe that statistical education in a school aims to nurture the development of statistical thinking in young students. Today, we will focus on a current shift toward statistical pedagogies and focus on informal inference reasoning and reinforce informal inference and reasoning by building inference based on data analysis. This is our frameworks about data investigation process framework, key practice and process for kindergarten and 12th grade data science education. Especially we think that educating students in data science go beyond teaching about algorithms, skill of manipulating data set. It also involves reasoning and critical understanding on how data are produced and how they can be used for particular purpose. It emphasizes developing an awareness for data ethics and considering the implication for policies and society. The paradigm is exploratory data analysis, informal statistical inference, and modeling. Especially informal statistical inference is about data as evidence, generalization beyond of data, uncertainty. The focus is inference from real samples to population, argumentation about inference. We design consideration for the statistical learning environment with lesson study is this. Our model, Chilean model, with inspired in investigation with Dr. Masami Soda. This is a network of 6 interrelated dimensions of a learning environment. How playful situations, stories, and APPs. It's important to craft a data story to convey insight about the problem to the audience so they can make inference and decisions. Grades, kindergarten and 3, learning trajectory for development is step 1, prediction, step 2, recognize the variations, step 3, regular behavior and confidence level, and step 4, generate a statement beyond the available data using expression of uncertainty. How can be harvest the full potential of integrated pedagogies that provided a next step forward in data science education in early age, gradually with age, and formal learning. Now, Raimundo Olfos, please.
Thank you, Soledad. I can continue in this slide. Okay, I will talk about as particular research related to development too. In this case, we are scaffolding preschool teachers. This is a course that includes 60 teachers. This special course has some new ideas. At first, we include open approach in preschool, and then we include in the course for teachers a community of learning, and additionally a monitor, a person who go to the classes and support with some ideas about open approach, and we prepare this lesson with the teacher using lesson study. Next.
Excuse me,
slide,
Professor.
please.
May I remind that you have got 1 minute left, please?
Soledad, el próximo.
No cambia.
Okay. And now, yes. The next one, please. La próxima. Okay. I want to share one idea of this course. In this case, we prepared a pre-kinder lesson in the left right related to Missouri, kinder lesson in the second slide, in the right side. The open question in pre-kinder was, is the door wide enough? And I cannot explain the other lesson, but we are including the idea of each time we include a new idea about measuring. At first, pre-kinder students use their own hands or feet to as a a Missouri idea. And then they use matches because they change for a standard unit. That is all for this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Raimondo and Professor Soledad from Chile Economies. And ladies and gentlemen, next, I would like to invite Professor Ivan Vygotsky from Moscow Center for Continual Math Education, Probability Theory Laboratory from Russia. Professor, if you're ready, please start.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm trying to switch on my camera. Good morning to our Chilean colleagues, Professor Raimondo, Arturo, Professor Soledad, and good evening to everybody. Do you see my presentation? No?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yes, yes. I understand myself to be given only 6 minutes for the talk, so my report will be very, very short and very laconic. For many years, we're working over new standard in mathematical education in Russia. And in 20 and 21, we have finished this stage of the work of the new federal standard for main school. We call it main schools since 7th to 9th grade. And I will talk only about probability and statistics because it is my area, and it was I who were working over the federal standard and the tentative curriculum. So, sorry, I'll think again with my camera. Yes, okay. The new federal standard for 5 to 9, really for 7 to 9, because 5 and 6 is not is a bit out of my interests. It is a very revolutionary thing, most revolutionary thing that happened on Russian education, mathematical education since 60s, because now we have 2 levels, not just school can teach this way or this way. Now in the standard we have 2 levels, nor equity nor equality. Children in some age can choose, they and their parents and advised by teachers, which level of mathematics to learn. And the second is that now we have traditionally algebra and geometry, and for many, many years, algebra and elements of calculus and geometry were the main and the only courses in mathematics. And now we have developed special third courses, separate standalone course on probability and statistics within the federal exemplary or tentative, maybe you say, curriculum for 7 to 9. And now we are working over 10 to 11 years of schooling also. Only 1 hour a week. And the course is very interesting because it's not only probability and statistics in it. We have some auxiliary, some extra chapters or sections. First, introductions to graph theory, because talking about probability and big data and statistics and data representation, we need idea of tree, not only tree graphs with cycles also, but tree is very main tool to solve problems. So we are talking about graphs theory in short. Logic is very important in geometry. We're saying, okay, your geometries, please take it for yourself and develop your logic within your textbooks on geometry. They say, no, we have no room in our books, so please do it. And we did. It was not easy to understand which elements of logic might be inside for 7th graders and for 8th graders, but we did. Elements of combinatorics. And the main thing is law of large And main planned results on basic and profile level are formulated as a statistical culture and understanding the law of large numbers as a way to provide it, how to say, is natural way to provide stability and regularity in random variability and changeability around us. And now I have finished the regular textbook, and now it's almost ready, and I hope that publishing house will print it within 1 month, though I always say that the hope is last to die. Thank you for your attention. If you have some questions, I would be happy to reply in chat, or I have 50 seconds extra. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ivan from Russia. And ladies and gentlemen, next will be the representative from Singapore Economies. In these occasions, I would like to invite Professor Totin Lam from National Institute of Education's Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. If you're ready, please start. You got 6 minutes. Sorry, Professor, can you hear us?
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to share a screen. Let me. Sorry, are you able to see my screen?
Still not yet, Professor.
Not yet, huh? Okay, never mind. Let me try. Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, now we can see your screen.
Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Can I just check that you can see my screen? Sorry, what screen do you see now?
Yeah, now I can see your screen, but it's not the slideshow functions. And it's the first page of your slides.
Now, are you at the first or second page?
Yes.
Second page?
No, not second page. Just the first page.
Hang on. It is a bit of a problem here. I don't know what's happening. Just give me sorry, give me a minute. Okay, I think I believe you can see my first page now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why I can't go to the slideshow mode. But once I go to the slideshow mode, okay, let me try to see. Are you able to see the slideshow mode?
No, still not yet, Professor.
Okay, apologies. Then I think I will go according to this. That's not waste time. Sorry for that. Okay, I will go in this. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Apologies for this hiccup. I think something seems to go wrong with my Zoom. Just now it was okay. Okay, but never mind. I believe you can see my screen. First, I would like to thank the organizer, I think Professor Maitri, for inviting me to give this short talk. The title is Artificial Intelligence, AI and Data Science in Education. So I'm from Singapore, the National Institute of Education, the Teacher Training Institute of Singapore. So I will present from the teacher education perspective. So now I'm at the second screen. Okay, the general direction that we go in Singapore, we are going in a big way and small way along this AI and data science in Singapore. So first of all, in the Singapore National Institute of Education, we set up a Science of Learning in Education Center, what we call the SOLEC Center. So this is a center in the Singapore National Institute of Education, studying the micro level cognitive aspects of learning. Of course, we have always been doing the social cultural aspects of learning. So this focusing on the micro aspect of learning, the cognitive aspect is another new direction. And also through the process of collecting and analyzing big data, AI in education, we focus on three aspects of AI, from teachers, students, and of course, the interaction between students and teachers. That is the process of learning and teaching. And currently, AI research projects have received much attention and potentially a lot of funding in the years to come. So in this sense, we are going in a big way. Also, in a small way, we are also trying to adjust the courses that we do. And I would say from the mathematics perspective, which is what I'm most familiar. For instance, in preparation for AI and data science, our statistics courses at the graduate level, and of course, subsequently, we'll go to the undergrad level, has been slanted with the flavor of this data science. And of course, in mathematics, computational thinking has increasingly received attention by the Ministry of Education and the National Institute of Education. Computational thinking is important for this data science and AI. And of course, it is best contextualized in mathematics curriculum of the Singapore teacher education. So in fact, we take a bold move just recently. Our mathematics program for pre-service teacher has been renamed as Mathematics and Computational Thinking. So I want to show you that our mathematics curriculum framework has always been this since the 1990s. That means the heart of our problem-solving framework will be mathematical problem-solving. So with the introduction of AI, data science, and computational thinking, we are not going to rock the boat. This problem-solving framework has always been there and it will be there. We are not going to make major changes, but rather we are trying to accommodate this computational thinking and other new initiatives into our existing framework. So for example, in mathematics education, we talk about problem solving. And with this new emphasis, we are talking about computational tools. It has been there, it always has been there, but now it has received more emphasis. And the Ministry of Education, together with National Institute of Education, we actually conceptualize what this computational thinking takes the form of. It is, of course, the use of a computational tool. It is a form of thinking, but an important part is that it consists of 4 components: abstraction, decomposition, algorithmic thinking, and generalization. And this actually fit into our problem-solving framework as well. So in a way, we are just we are not rocking the boat, but we are making, we are trying to make the emphasis explicit part of the mathematics curriculum. So in the teacher training education itself, we actually interpret what is the meaning of computational thinking. It is not an add-on to mathematics course, but it is to highlight the importance of mathematics and what it means to solve problems efficiently and effectively by 2 approaches. That means mathematics should have a balanced emphasis on computability, constructive proof, computer-based modeling, and exploration. And of course, students must be exposed to coding and the use of mathematical softwares. So we are trying to recalibrate our mathematics curriculum in the problem-solving framework. And so for a major in mathematics, they must be able to do this. And for a minor in mathematics, of course, they are still exposed to coding. But the problem is we only expose them to computational thinking infused into the core mathematics courses. So in short, this new emphasis is not a complete overhaul of the curriculum, but is to make us to rethink our problem-solving curriculum and how computational thinking is an emphasis that need to be made explicit or in preparation for data science and AI. Okay, I think time's up. Apologies for all the hiccups initially. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Totin Lam from Singapore Economies. And ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite Professor Hee Chang Liu from South Korea Economies from Korea National University of Education, South Korea. Professor, you got 6 minutes. If you're ready, please start. Sorry, Professor, can you hear me clearly? Sorry, Professor, we still didn't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? And
yes,
can
Professor, we can hear
okay.
you. Yes, thank you. But we cannot see your slides.
Yeah. It's okay. Can you see my slide?
No, still not yet, Professor.
Why?
Professor, please share your slide again.
No, not yet. Can you see?
Yes, now we can see.
Okay, okay.
Yes, if you're ready, please start.
Yes, yes. Good evening, everybody. Today, I'm very happy to present Korean situation on AI for education. As you know, AI is a cornerstone of our current society. It is the basis of highly sophisticated technologies driving the first industrial revolution. AI is a machine system to implement a variety of recognition, thinking, and learning. For example, autonomous driving car with AI can recognize and even make a decision for passenger safety. However, AI in school is very controversial. Many people consider that AI is enough for high-level experts only, and they worry that AI education might be too much burden for ordinary students. However, Korean government decided in 2019 that AI should be taught urgently in school curriculum as early as 2022, this year. But nobody knows about success or not. That means we need lesson study. As you know, lesson study is a study to improve educational relationship between teachers and students in classrooms. However, it is very complex in that it has many factors like curriculum, textbook, teacher training, classroom environment, student previous experience, educational culture, etc. Very luckily, Korean government have prepared many factors in teaching AI. We made curriculum already. AI basic for information and AI mathematics were already developed as the new chapter of the current 2015 National High School curriculum in 2020. Additionally, a new curriculum is being developed for the next national curriculum, which begins in 2025. We have already 6 kinds of high school textbooks for AI basic and AI mathematics. These textbooks were already published in 2021. last year. This have used from spring semester of this year in some schools, not every schools, in some schools as a selective subject for students who want it. Let me show 3 examples appeared on the textbook, Korean textbook, high school textbook. Example 1 is visual imagination recognition. Can you see the 2 pictures? What is the difference between these 2 pictures? 99% the same, almost same, but at least 3 points different. Can you see on this picture 2 buttons, 1 button? Can you see? And there is some pattern, but in this picture no pattern. Can you see this word? You see no connection. Yeah, it is very difficult for human, but for computer, AI, very easy. Machine with AI can recognize the difference easily than human. How? Mathematics can make it possible. Second, pattern and rule recognition. AI can effectively find patterns and rules inherent in data through machine learning. Mathematics can make it possible through simple regression analysis and the gradient descent method. Example 3 is spam mailing filtering, spam mail filtering. AI automatically filters spam mails sprayed on the internet. It is Bayesian estimation that support this process. Okay, and AI in teacher education. In 2019, South Korean government decided to train 5,000 AI teachers for leading high school students in the new era. And my school already launched the course for 140 teachers. And we made AI teacher education, my school. And I made AI math education program. And Korean government made new platform for mathematical block coding. We call it AlgeoMath. Okay, my last slide. AI and data science for education is on totally new teaching situation. We have no enough information in each country, I think. That is why we need international lesson study 2.0 for sharing classroom information on AI and data science. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you again in lesson study 2.5, 2.0. See you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hee Chang Liu from South Korea. And ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving to the last representative from Vietnam Economies. In this opportunity, I would like to invite Professor Vian Chi Tan, Vietnam National University. If you're ready, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Professor.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so do you see my screen, my slide?
Yes, I can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me for this, I think, very interesting workshop. And I'm very happy to be here and to see many faces of my old friend here, as Matri, as Hichali, Buwoski, etc. Very, very nice to see you again. So I will within Atotilam also within 6 minutes to talk about something about the situation about the artificial intelligence and data science for education in Vietnam. So as you see that the training in AI and data science in Vietnam is still very new, but we will explore in the coming time. And also the second thing is that teacher training university not yet include AI and data science in their curriculum, but already emphasize so much on technology content. That means there are a lot of, for example, e-learning platform, and they would like to, through the data collected from this, platform, to analyze and to give, interpret, to have useful information about the student learning, for example. And the government has a national program and strategy on digital transformation that emphasize the role of AI and data science. The second thing is that the Ministry of Education and Training in Vietnam has used national digital database. More than 44,000 schools have been connected to this database platform in administration and management. And the subject of informatics will be introduced from the grade 3 in the 2018 Zero Education curriculum, as Hichali have emphasized also in the Korean curriculum. And also the topic data and statistics, which is very important for AI, and will be introduced from the grade 2. That means from grade 2 to grade 12 in the national 2018 General Education curriculum. And in the higher education level, there are some private university create AI or data science department, but still very few. I mean, the number of university who do that is very few, and especially there's no higher education institution for teacher training to do that. And many private companies start to collecting data from their MOOCs or online platform. So through the previous presentation, we see that on the COVID-19 pandemic, there are a lot of online platform has been established, and teachers have to use and to use and to learn how to teach online. So now many companies, but they are mainly private one, would like to collect data in order to interpret and to give to make it more useful for teacher. And university will not use many MOOCs during COVID-19 pandemic, because in Vietnam we have a policy during the 19 COVID pandemic that we students stop going to school, but they do not stop learning. So we organize that several by online or MOOCs platform. So from that, I would like to go for my last slide about some, I think that my hope and also some recommendation. So I think that we have to organize more and more face-to-face workshop within APEC economy about that. This is the second one from the last one. I remember last one for online mode. We have done that in Tsukuba University, and so we would like to have also share project. So this project, for example, projects that Roberto area has been introduced previously, would lead to share project and research and publication. I think it's very important. We are in the network, including a lot of APEC economy, and this network has been established, existed for many years, and I think we are here know each other, I think, very well. So we would like to have to take profit from that, to have a share project and share research on also share publication. And also I would like to have a cross study between APEC economy, which is this program, because for each economy we have its specification specific characteristic, and I think the cross study between APEC economy project about this new trend about the AI and data in education is very necessary, and I think it could be very interesting. So I would like that we can, this project can establish or elaborate some kind of cross study. For example, about pandemic, pandemic, how teacher give us a course, for example. So, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Nguyen Chi Tan and the sixth professor for your sharing in this session. So, ladies and gentlemen, actually this coming session is Q&A session, but we found that the question is responded and replied by the speaker directly through the chat box. So, if some of you have the question after this, you can send it to our organizer. So we will pass the question to the speakers and we will get it back to you via email after the event. So right now we have many professors live with us at the moment. So I'm not sure that Professor Maitri or Professor Isada, do you have any additional remark? Professor Loboto, would you like to say something? We can see you on the screen. Professor Yusudat, are you saying something? We couldn't hear you.
Sorry. You cannot hear me?
Yes, we can hear you right now.
You can hear now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
On the PPTSI session linkages, we are in communication with the senior secretariat, and it will be set on our meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That is additional information. And thank you very much for all of the speakers. Very much informative and interesting and necessary proposals, including. Thank you very much.
That's right. Thank you very much, Professor. So I think we can move to the last session of today's event for the closing ceremony.
Yes, okay, now so we are coming up to the final destinations of today's event. On these occasions, I would like to invite Associated Professor Dr. Maitri in Prasit from Kaen University to deliver the closing remark, please.
Yes, dear friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that how the APEC lesson study community is so strong, and thanks for all our friends who joined this even very short event, but I think it's very informative and very active. I think we now come to the last part of today, and again I would like to express my appreciation to all the speakers and APEC member economies for the variable contribution to our event on the APEC KKU 2022 online workshop for Lesson Study 2.0 Artificial Intelligence and Data Science for Education in APEC Economies. I think during the last 3 hours, my deep gratitude go to all audience who attends and helps to make it such a successful event. It is also important for us to regularly hear and learn the view from the speakers and APEC economy specialists, as well as the audience has teach me and educate me all the time. And I am sure that you have something to take away from this event will further deepen our point of view. I think this event has been very effective in meetings. We share the experience of APEC's economy with teacher trainers in relation to the past APEC lesson study projects and also insights projects to know the newest methodology for lesson study in education for innovation and teaching practice by using AI and data science. Second, to provide the information for teacher trainers who support AI in education for the next generations in APEC and produce the roadmap in each economy. And the main point in taking responsibility for the issues of improving education APEC economy, I'm very happy to report to all of you that there are more than 200 participants in Zoom and also YouTube platforms, including 16 economies and 4 non-APEC member economies join this event. Thanks very much for your contribution and attention. Before ending my closing remark, I would like to inform and invite you to the next related workshop in February 2023 in Tokyo, which is organized by Professor Masami Soda next year. It will be focused on lesson study 2.0, which including using AI and data science approaches, discuss the usefulness and limitation of the current technology and seeks further development. Again, I would like to extend my most sincere gratitude to Director Laksumon Samansin from the International Affairs Division, Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation of Thailand. Dr. Wang Yan, APEC HRD Working Group Education Network Coordinator, to preside over this event, and also Associate Professor Chanchai Pantong Wiriyakun, the President of Khon University, Professor Masami Soda, University of Tsukuba, Japan, for always support to the projects, and especially for the speaker for your contribution. Finally, my deepest thanks, of course, to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation for the support, and thanks to the Institute for Research and Development in Teaching Profession for ASEAN and the Center for Research in Math Education, Khon University, for running the event smoothly. I appreciate our teams from IRDTP for preparing this event. And thank you very much. See you again in the APEC Tsukuba in next year, February. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Maitri Indrasit. So before we end today's activity, should we inform again about your evaluation form?
Yes, for the evaluation form, we would like to kindly remind you and invite you again to do the evaluations by using the QR code or by scanning the QR codes that show in this screen. And after you finish the evaluations, you will got the certification for joining us for today's event. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to say goodbye already. And thank you very much for your attention and joining us for today's journeys for last 3 hours. On behalf of the APEC KKU 2022 team, we would like to say goodbye and good night from Khon University, Thailand. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Yes. Dr. Gwen mentioned we may need to consider the on-site if possible, but currently our affiliate elementary school is still closed for the people.
Yes, if you can, even we couldn't have a chance to visit school, even the Ministry of Education, Dr. Laksamon, and the